All right. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in. I'm so excited for you guys to hear from Kristen. She is a rock star, and I know she's going to have just lots of wisdom and tips to share with all of you, and I can't wait to hear. Hope you guys brought your notebooks. Be sure and take notes. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let Kristen get started introducing herself to you guys.
Sweet. Okay. Am I good? Can you hear me? Yes? Okay, good. All right. Okay, so I'm Kristen, and I am a stay-at-home mom, married, and I am in Emerald, and I started working my business on February 13th. So not too long, and I'm so excited. Like, I love it. For those of you who don't know, I actually came from a competing MLM and was just super, super nervous to start this because of that. And I literally almost quit. I think it's funny to tell people this because I literally tried to call and quit the second after I signed up. Like, I called customer service and they were taking so long to answer that I just hung up and was like, oh, I'll quit later. And thankfully I never did. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I just changed my mind. Like right then I was like, I'm going all in. And yeah, so that's just a little bit of how I got started, which I know is crazy, but I'm super, super excited to be doing this. So yeah.
I love that. I love that for starters, that you came from a competing.
Brittany, I can't hear you.
Can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
No.
Okay, now can you guys hear me?
Can't hear you.
Yes says she can hear me. Liz can hear me. Okay. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think Kristen's sound is off.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I had turned my sound off so that it wouldn't like be dinging in the background. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. So sorry. Okay, thanks. My bad. I didn't want it to be dinging, but oh well, just got to ding.
You're fine. No, I was just saying I love that you came from another company and had that experience, but you have that unique story of still, having that freak out moment of like, oh my gosh, what did I just get myself into? That's really cool to share. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to having that feeling after starting, what have I just gotten myself into? Okay. I guess the first question I want to ask you, because for those of you that don't know, you guys, Kristen's only been in the business 6 weeks, right, Kristen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 6 weeks and just went Emerald. So she is moving fast. So the first question I want to ask you, and just for you to share with everybody, is just what does your typical day look like?
Okay. Yeah. So, my typical day is, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have one son, he's 2, and he is extremely high energy. So he takes a lot of work and effort. So keep that in mind. So before I even get out of my bed, during the day, before I even get out of the bed, I grab my phone and I add at least 10 to 15 friends on Facebook, and I follow the maximum on Instagram. So I feel like expanding your network is so critical in this business. So it's the first thing I do. I mean, I have it, I always grab my phone when I first wake up anyway. So now I just grab it and grow my network. And yeah, so that's what I do. And I have notes. That's why I'm looking down. But so that's before I even get out of bed. So when my son is awake, I cannot do a lot of business stuff. Like I can't. I have to make sure he's not like dying and, like jumping off of something, like breaking a window. These are things he would do. So while he's awake, the only things I really do is I can post and I can respond quickly to messages just because, I have things saved in my notes to be more efficient. But when he's awake, there's not a lot of business activities going on at all. So one little hack I have is that I go to the gym and he can stay in the childcare for like almost 2 hours, and he loves the childcare. It's awesome. And I will work out for like 30 minutes. And then when I'm done, I get on one of those bikes that take like 0 effort. And I literally will spend that time on my phone, like posting, responding to messages, doing another round of ads, like adding people and stuff like that. I use that time really intentionally because I don't have a lot of time. Like I have to kind of make it work. And then when he goes down for nap, is when I really get to work. And I actually have a checklist that I follow, and I'm happy to share this with you guys, but it's just kind of like all the stuff. This is an example of every day of the week, like all the stuff that I want to get done daily. So, and I'll share this with you guys, but it's just like adding friends on Facebook, Instagram, engaging with my Facebook friends, engaging with Instagram friends, messaging, responding, checking in with my loyal customers, my team, e-suite, personal development, stuff like that. So I just have a checklist because I am someone that really needs something like this to stay on task and to make me feel like I know what I'm doing. So I use this and I'll share it with anyone who wants it, but that's what I'm doing during nap. I'm doing the bulk of my work then. And then after he gets up, then we have our family time and all of that, and he goes to bed. I spend time with my husband. And then in the evenings, I will kind of finish anything that I haven't gotten done, and that's when I do trainings. I would not be here at this point, without a doubt, if it weren't for doing trainings. I do any Zooms that I miss live, I watch them, and I get on YouTube and search for like It Works trainings. Like I do this all the time. So that's what I do after bed, and that's just kind of a snapshot of my day.
I love that. And I love your gym hack you shared. Like that's so awesome because so many gyms do have childcare. And so that's really smart actually. I love that. Okay, awesome. My next question that I have for you is just what would you say that you spend more focus on? Like do you spend more focus on getting loyal customers or getting distributors, or do you kind of have that evenly distributed?
I feel like it's kind of even. I was thinking about this when you sent me the questions, and I was trying to think back. And I would say that a lot of my posts are geared more towards the business. It's easier for me to share just naturally about the business because I'm super passionate about it, and I just know what it can do for a lot of families. Now, obviously, the products are incredible as well. So I would say my posts focus a little bit more, lean more towards the business a little bit, but I mean, I still post about the products as well. And yeah, I would say it's kind of even. And with my messaging too, and I know we're going to get into messaging a little bit, but yeah, I would honestly say it's pretty even. I mean, you got to have the volume and the distributor, so I just go with both.
Okay, and what would you say is like your stronger suit, or do you feel like, again, just really evenly distributed? Do you feel like it's easier to get loyal customers for you or distributors?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's easier to get loyal customers than I do to get someone to commit to the business for sure. I mean, I think I signed 10 loyal customers in my first 10 days. So I started off pretty like decently strong with loyal customers, but I think maybe 2 or 3 distributors in those like 10 days when I first started. And then in March, I think I signed 12 loyal customers and 4 distributors. So no, I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but I would say that my distributor, I don't know. I would say it was pretty even, honestly. Yeah.
So one question I wanted to ask you, as far as the distributors you're signing, because I know you said that you felt like it was a little slower than loyal customers, but you are definitely growing very rapidly. How would you say that you're gaining that trust so rapidly from your potentials?
Yes.
You build so quickly. I feel like that's something a lot of people, they make the potentials, but they just stay potentials forever. So how are you getting
perfect? Yeah. So I have a lot to say about this because I think that there is quite a bit that goes into gaining that trust. And the first thing I want to say about it is I think my mindset has a lot to do with it. And I think it's not just in gaining trust, but this is where I felt like this tied in the best. But really, when Brittany asked me to do this training and she was like, I was thinking like, okay, why do I really think that I've had success? Like I was trying to like genuinely think about it, like, and be super honest with it. And I think I thought of 3 things, and I'm going to touch on all of them tonight, but one of them is definitely my mindset. Like when I decided that I was going to do this, like after I had my freak out moment and was like, no, I'm going to do this. Like I decided I was going to do it. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to see how it goes. Or like, we'll see. Like, no, like I was like, I am doing this. This is a matter of time. It's not an if, but a when. And when you have that in your mind, you're confident of where you're going. And that I think comes through to people when you're talking. And like, I don't care if like everyone says no, I'm just going to keep finding new people to talk to. And I also like every single person on my team could quit. Please don't. I love you guys. Don't do it. But if you did, I would just build a whole new team. Like, I'm not going anywhere, and I know that. And I think that kind of comes across when I'm talking to my potentials, because I have that confidence. Even like the first day I started and I had 0 customers and 0 distributors, I knew that I was going to get to wherever I wanted to go, no matter how long it took. Like, I've heard this example a lot of times, like there are 8 ranks and it works and it took you a year to get to each one. You'd be an ambassador in 8 years. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm fine with that if that's really what it takes. Like, so I think that that's been huge in gaining trust, because I have confidence. I'm not going anywhere because I know I will eventually get there. So I think that's been really key. So that's one of the first things. Okay, I think that another thing that really helps me with gaining the trust is the way I post on social media. And I want to say that I'm not like a natural at posting on social media. That's not something I'm super good at. It's something I have to like really work at. But I share my life, and that lets people get to know who I am. And I think that when I'm bringing in a lot of people who don't know me at all, being able to share my life on social media, they start to get to know me. And I've had a lot of people tell me that, like, oh, I feel like I know you. And I think, it's because, I post pictures of my kids and I keep it real, and I share when we have like funny, silly moments, or when he's driving me crazy, and like all this kind of stuff. And people really relate to that. And that helps them build trust with me. And I think like, I don't ever share a corporate picture. I mean, I'm not talking about before and after pictures, but I mean like the ad kind of pictures that corporate puts out. Like, I don't share that because that does not build trust with people. That looks like you're trying to sell them something. People are interested in that. It doesn't help them get to know you at all. So I stay away from that kind of stuff, and I don't do any of the like sharing, like, not like, I mean, I might like post a funny meme, but I mean like, those things that are kind of negative that people will share and they click share and it kind of can look spammy, or those like kind of spammy videos. I don't do any of that because I look at my Facebook and my social media as like my business, and this business is about relationships, and I want to build relationships with people, and I don't want to have that negativity on my page. So I think that's another reason why people are able to trust me. And as far as following social media goes, the way I'm learning is by doing trainings. So like I said, remember guys, I'm not a natural at this. So I've done a lot of trainings, and I follow the leaders on our team to learn how they post. And I don't copy and paste their posts, but I just take it as inspiration. And that's how I've kind of learned how to post and to like share my story. Okay, and in messaging. So once we get into the messaging, how I'm building the trust there is that I really relate to them. I love scripts. I'm a green. I want to know what everyone is saying exactly. Like, no, I'm like, no, tell me what you are exactly saying. Like, I want to know that stuff. But unfortunately, like, and I know it's true too, like, every message is a little bit different. I certainly use the scripts for like the meat of the message of what I'm trying to say, but I really take the time to relate to them and understand where they're coming from instead of just sending out a script every single time I message somebody. And I think that also helps me gain trust and build trust with them. I voice message when I can. That helps a lot as well. And being vulnerable, like letting people know, like, I understand your fears. I understand that you like really don't have the $99. Like, being relatable like that. I mean, like, I get it. And letting those people know that you're still there for them and you still care for them and you're going to help them find a way, I think really helps. And also live videos. I try to do like 1 live video a week, and I think that also really builds trust. I actually didn't even do a first post. When I signed up, I went live. I did a live video sharing, and I had never gone live before, ever. So I was super nervous, but I think that kind of kicked me off kind of strong is when I went live and explained why I was joining. And this doesn't necessarily go with gaining trust, but it just made me think of it, and I think it could be a helpful tip for people who are just starting off. When I went live, and I would say the first 2 weeks of the business, I actually never mentioned the words "it works," not even in my live video. So for the first couple of weeks, I just would say things like my business, my social media business, my new business. And I had a lot of because people are curious, a lot of people message me like, what business? What are you doing? And that opened up a lot of conversations for me. So that's just an extra tip. But that's what I have on that. Just being super vulnerable and sharing your journey on social media and not sharing corporate pictures or negative things, I think is really what's helped me a lot with gaining the trust.
I love that so much. There was a few things that you said that just really stood out to me that I just want to make sure everybody got. Guys, did you hear her say, even if it took me 8 years to go Ambassador Diamond, like that's fine. I think that's something a lot of people lose sight of. Like when they start, they're like, if I can't be to X rank in X amount of time, then I'm just going to give up. I'm not meant for this or whatever. And the thing about it is like everyone's journey is different. It takes time. And, you know, some people may promote really fast up front. You know, some people, they may be a little bit slower in the beginning and then, you know, jump ranks really fast. But what she said was gold. Even if it took you 8 years to be an Ambassador Diamond, you would be a millionaire. You're not going to be a millionaire at your current job in 8 years. So like, that's still fine. Like that's still a great, you know, a great game plan. So, and it's chances are it's not going to take you 8 years to be an Ambassador Diamond if you're consistent and you work. But I thought that was gold. And I love what you said about, you know, social media doesn't come naturally, but you've still been able to capitalize on it by growing and watching trainings and just learning. And I love that you said that you know, stay away from ads. I think that's something so important. I think when we're new, it's easy to get caught up on like just sharing those corporate photos. But what you said was just so golden. You know, people don't relate to that. That doesn't tell them anything about you. And, you know, we mute the commercials on our TV and we scroll right past ads on Facebook. So it's not any different if we share ads. You know, people are going to scroll right past us. So just being real and being you is, you know, I just love that you said that's like the main thing that you're doing. Because I think that definitely is key with getting people to trust us. So, okay. Well, awesome. The next question that I have is, so do you cold message anybody on a daily basis, or do you do mostly warm messaging? Both, neither? Like, what's your preferred method, and why would you say that?
Okay. So for people who are like brand new on this, because I know I have a few people who like signed up today, cold messaging, if you're not familiar with that, that means like you message someone that you don't really know at all. And you just send them a message, and some people have a lot of success with cold messaging. And then a warm message means that you're sending a message to someone that you've built some sort of relationship with, for sure. So that's kind of what that means. I do not cold message, but I try to turn my cold market into my warm market quickly. So I don't send people a message that I've just added or that I've just followed on Instagram ever. But I am very intentional with the new people that I add, building a relationship with them. So on Instagram, I follow Claire's training. Every week I write down a certain amount of people that I'm going to be intentional with going to their page every single day for 5 days, commenting and liking on their post. And at day 5, if I have had at least 2 or 3 interactions with them, like if they haven't posted enough for me to interact with them a few times, but I still feel like I want to talk to them, I'll just add them to my list, like for the next week to kind of keep going. Like I don't just end it, especially if they posted a few times. I'm just like, you know, you can kind of tell in your gut like it hasn't been enough. But if I have had a few interactions with them on day 5, I will message them. And I have a same message that I send out to everyone. I'll read it to you guys. It's in my notes, and I can post it below. And I've like, guys, I got this off of training. Like I didn't make this up. I get everything off of training. Okay. So I tweaked it a little bit to make it sound like me, and I would recommend that you do that too. But mine just says, "Hey, gorgeous. I always love seeing your posts. You seem like such a sweet person. I know this is super random, but I can't stop thinking about how great you would be at what I do. I just felt led to reach out to you today. So I hope that's okay. And I hope you have a great day, girl." And I don't know who all is on my team that's watching this right now, but if you go to your Instagram messages and scroll up, you'll probably see that I sent you that, because I get a lot of responses from that. I get a lot of potentials from that message, because it's not, you know, it leaves it open, but it's not like, and normally I end everything with a question, but for some reason with this message, I just don't, and I still get a lot of reaction or responses from it. So I send that message on day 5. Now, I'm only sending that message to people who I genuinely think would be good. You know, like I'm not just mass messaging those people. Remember, I've been interacting with them for a week, so I have a pretty good idea. And so I definitely do that. On Facebook, I do the same thing pretty much. Like I have my friends list printed out here. As you can see, Monday, these are the people that I started with, and I just put little dots next to their name. And I interact with, right now I'm doing 20 people at a time, and I'm just really intentional. And then on that last day, after I've had a few interactions with them, I send the same message.
Kristen, I Just checked. That was totally my message.
Oh, see? Okay.
And it totally worked.
Yes, totally. Okay. Okay, so yes. So that's the message that I send to people. And just like Victoria was saying, like, yeah, I interacted with her for a week and thought she would be amazing, send her the message, and here she is. So, and I do the same thing on Facebook. So I try to turn, like I said, I just try to turn my cold market into my warm market really quickly. And that is what I do. So, yeah.
I love that. I've actually typed it in the comments for everybody to see in case anyone missed that sentence, but turning your cold market into your warm market, that is money. Okay. So what would you say that you see, or where would you say you see the most success for, like you're sealing the deal the most, on Instagram or Facebook?
I would say my first couple of weeks, it was all Facebook. And then since then, I would say probably still 60% Facebook, 40% Instagram. And I don't know, I think for me on Facebook, especially with distributors, I feel like I do a better job because they kind of, I don't know, it seems like it's easier to build a relationship for me personally on Facebook with someone, but I try to get a lot of my Instagram people to Facebook. So for example, like with Victoria, I added her on Facebook when she messaged me back. So I feel like if I can get them on both, and I feel like that's where I kind of have my best success. Now with loyal customers, I do get, I would say, it's probably 50-50 with loyal customers. So I do get a lot more on Instagram as far as loyal customers go than I would say distributors, but I get a lot of potentials over to Facebook from Instagram. So I'm definitely thinking that I think I'll continue to see the fruit of that as I keep building those relationships too. So I would say a little bit more on Facebook, but not a ton.
That's awesome. And I think that's a really good tip she just shared, guys, about getting your people from Instagram over to Facebook. You know, if you have that strong potential on Instagram, add them on Facebook, because you definitely, I feel like, can speed that up, speed up sealing the deal when they're on Facebook. Okay. And then another question I wanted to ask you. So like, what are your best volume boosting tips? Like we all know, you know, getting charted is just half the battle. But you not only were charted Emerald last month, you went Emerald last month. And so, you know, for a lot of people, they can get charted, but then it just takes months and months to actually seal that volume. So what did you do at the end of last month that rushed all that volume? Because I'm pretty sure we all saw you go from like Ruby to Emerald in, what was it, like a week?
Yeah, well, I definitely had help from my team when it comes to getting that volume up. I didn't do that all by myself, so I think that's something to point out. But I do have some volume tips that I have really just started at the end of last month, helping me a lot, and into this month as well. And for me personally, it's been the triple threat. And I personally use the triple threat. And if you're new and you don't know what that means, the triple threat is not like an official thing that It Works has. I don't think it's official anyways, but it's the greens, the fat fighters, and the thermofit, using all three of those. I personally use all three of them and am loving them, so it's easy for me to talk about. And I will, again, anything that you guys want to see as far as like specifics, I'll post in the comments so that you guys can see what I'm saying, because I'm that kind of person, like I want to see it. But anytime I post about weight loss on Instagram or Facebook, anytime I'm doing anything about weight loss, even if it doesn't say triple threat in the post, even if it's not a before and after, like even if I didn't do a before and after triple threat, if it's about weight loss, I am talking to them about triple threat. So I have a message that I send, and I'm just like, hey, like me and my girls were having such good results with the triple threat, and I just like have like a tiny little paragraph where I say the three things that's in it, and like in little parentheses which each one does, like not a lot. And I'm just like, actually, you know, I've got 4 spots and I can get you this like little customer discount. Like if you're interested in any of this, let me know and I'll tell you about like my discount pricing. I would say 99% of the people respond to that message and they're like, well, yeah, what is the discount? Like, what's the pricing? And then I use Brittany's script that she has given us all with like the loyal customer, and I do the pricing. And then at the end, I'm like, okay, listen, these products work incredible altogether, but I get it. Like if it's not in your budget to get them all right now, like let me know like where you're at and I'll help you find the thing to get started with. I would say 80% have responded and being like, let's just do all 3. And when I first started sending that message, I was nervous that everyone was going to be like, okay, I'll take the fat fighters. And that has not happened once, not one time. So I've had a lot of triple threat orders, which is almost 100. It's like 97 PV. And then if someone's like, well, I can't do it all, I get them on Fat Fighters and ThermoFit together. I have not had one person just buy one product. So sending those messages and talking about triple threat has boosted my volume a lot last month and even the beginning of this month. So that's honestly like my biggest volume tip is finding things that you like and that you can kind of bundle together that work together really well and sharing that with all of them, but then giving them the option to be like, hey, I get it if you can't afford it all. Like, if you can't, let me know. And then you'll be surprised with how many people are like, no, I really want those full results. Like, let's do it all. And then the ones that don't, you still have a couple things that you can kind of pair together. ThermoFit and Fat Fighters together is still a pretty high volume order. So, it still is really good. So that's been my biggest thing that's helped me a lot in the past few weeks.
Do you mind sharing that little first part of your message that you were talking about that you're sending about triple threat?
No, absolutely not. You want me to read it now or just post it in the comments?
If you want, you can post it in the comments, and that way
Okay.
on can
Yes.
if they want. And then if after the Zoom you don't mind sharing it on the comment.
Right, yes. Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Let me do it.
Yeah, you're fine. I think that is awesome, just how Kristen talks to people with that confidence, knowing that, these 3 products are going to help them so much. And she can tell them that confidently because she is using the products herself. So I think that's huge. I think, whatever products you've been curious of trying and like whatever products you really want to sell to people, it's just going to make it so much easier if you guys are using them yourself. So I love that she mentioned, she talks about it. She knows that it's a good deal, and more often than not, people want what she has. So they're jumping right in and wanting to order that. I'll give you a second, Kristen, so you can do that. I don't want to.
Oh, you're fine. Okay. I just copy and pasted that out of someone that I had sent it to earlier, but yeah, so that's it. That's what I sent.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other question I wanted to ask you is, I guess like for newbies, like people who have just joined, they've been in the business like a week or less, what would be your best immediate advice for them for getting off the ground fast? Like, what would you say if there's like one thing you could share that, you did that really helped you?
Okay. All right. So I have a few things here. I think that the number one thing is doing the trainings and then applying them. So if you just watch the trainings, that's great, but it's not going to do anything for you really. So I was watching trainings and then I was taking what I found from all these leaders that I was connecting with and applying them to myself. So I think it's really important for you guys to know that you see that like I've started off really quickly and you think like, oh, she must be like a natural at this, and I'm really not a natural at any of it. Like there's no, like, there's certain people that come into the business and they have the it factor. They have a market that loves them already. They could be like, hey, I'm like selling hair ties, and they would be like, yes, I'm getting that, like, I'm not that person. And even though I have a network marketing background, I do have experience in network marketing. I absolutely was never that person that was a natural. Like, but I think the biggest thing about why I've been successful is that I am willing to do the work, and most people aren't. And that's just the truth. Like most people say that they want this. They're like, yeah, I definitely want this. I want diamond. I want this or that. But they're not willing to do the work consistently. And that's why in network marketing, it seems as though there's like just a small handful of people who are really successful. It's not because they got in at the right time or because they know some sort of secret. It's because that they are willing to do the work. And they're willing to do it for however long it takes and over a consistent period of time. And I just think that is critical because that is the secret. That is the secret to network marketing. I have no natural marketing skills at all. I'm not good at social media. My messagings can be very awkward, I think, at times, but improve myself. I'm willing to step out of the box. I'm willing to be like, examine where I'm at and what I need to do to get better and be critical of myself in a productive way and do the work. I mean, that's really the biggest tip I can give you is on our team, like we have every tool training that you can imagine. Like there's no like special secret. And even though I want there to be, everyone wants them to be there to be a special secret because that just means there's like less work or something. That's just not how it goes. And I just think that that's why I've been able to be successful. And it's why I will continue to be successful in the future. Like if you guys see me go diamond this month, or if you guys see me go diamond next month, you'll know that it's not because of anything special about me. It's because I'm just willing to do the work. And I think that if you really need this business, you know, and I know there are people on our team who really need it, you know, they need the money, they need the income, they need to be, you know, they need it. But then they say they want it, but then their actions don't follow up with that. They don't match together. So I don't think that those people truly want it. And if you don't want it, that's okay, but just don't lie to yourself or don't pretend like, you know, like, oh, it's not working for me or this and that, because really you haven't put in enough work. So if you're not seeing success in this business, it's one of two things. One, you're not doing the work consistently, or you haven't done it consistently for a long period of time. Or two, you need to do some tweaking. You know, there's some things that you need to tweak. You know, maybe you need to tweak your social media, and maybe you need to tweak your messaging. And that's a good place to be, because you've been doing the work. You see with like, okay, this isn't really working, so what can I do to fix this? Go to your upline, come to the team page, the trainings, and you'll learn how to tweak it, and then you'll start doing that consistently, and you will get there. Like, I've heard so many people say this, but it's so true in network marketing. I mean, this business works for 100% of the people who work it. So if you just signed up, be ready to put in the work. And when I say that, I don't mean be willing to work 24/7, 365, never taking a second off and make it work your entire life. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, can you put in an hour a day every day? Because if you can, you'll get there. You know, the more time you have, then maybe the faster you'll go. That doesn't necessarily mean that, but I think it's just consistency. And where I don't have natural ability, I make up for in work ethic, and I make up for in my willingness to just be trained, because that's just, to me, that's everything. Like, there's no reason why not. There's like literally no reason why everyone on this team should not be diamond or higher in time. Like, obviously this takes time. I understand that, but I'm saying in time, there's no reason why no one on this team should be diamond or higher. I mean, everyone in here can be ambassador. I mean, that is just the truth. Everyone in here can be an ambassador if they're willing to work long enough consistently and examine themselves and improve themselves in their training. So that would be my biggest tip. Do the work and improve.
I love that. That is seriously so true. I hope everybody was just hanging on to her every word during that last part, because seriously, guys, that is all it takes, is being able to do the work. And what she said about network marketing and the quote about it working 100% of the time for the people that do the work, it reminds me of the quote that I'm convinced that success in network marketing is all about who hung on when everybody else dropped off. That is seriously just so true. Like, if you are consistent, it will work for you. But so often I feel like, you know, we get in, you know, we join a business and we're like, oh, I'm not rich. It's been a week and I'm not rich, you know, oh, must not be for me. And that's just, you know, not how it works. And I love that you said, Kristen, that, you know, it's one thing to say that you want it, and it's another thing to work like you want it. Because, you know, we all can say we want it, you know, but talk is cheap. Like, if you want it, then go after it. So I think that was just gold. And I'm sure, you know, there's a lot of people that definitely need to hear that for sure, because this is our boom season. So if you want it, you know, put your work ethic behind your words and, you know, go after it. Okay, I don't want to keep this super long because I know you're on the East Coast and so you're ahead of us, but I just wanted to ask, is there anything else that you want to share? Because I know you have just so much wisdom that you're imparting on us all, and just so many tips. So is there anything else that you wanted to share that?
I feel like I have covered most everything I wanted to say. I think, you know, we just have this incredible opportunity, and I don't want you guys to waste it, and I don't want you to, I don't know, like, I just know there's so many people who need this, and you're here, like, you have it, you've taken the first step, so So go with it, and and if I could give one other tip, just because I know this from my experience prior to, is don't take a break unless you really, really have to. Okay. And when I say don't take a break, I don't mean take a break, like a day off or something. I mean, don't go for an extended period of time without working your business. Like if you're having a crazy time in your life, and I understand that absolutely happens, try to just do a little bit, like post just 1 or 2 times a day if you have to, just add a few people and message a few people when you're having those crazy days. Like, for example, we just had tornadoes where I was at, and I didn't have good internet, and I had to go to my mom's house, and I was still able to I had to kind of do the minimum. I had to work with what I could, but I was still able to sign 2 distributors and a couple of loyal customers just from my consistency prior. And my business isn't suffering from that because I still did what I could over those few days. So I'm telling you, if you take a break in the business, it's going to be a lot. It's not like you can't get back, because you can, but it's going to make it harder. And that's also kind of has to do with a little bit of that trust, building that trust. People are going to be like, oh, I thought she did that. Oh, is she not? Or is she? So especially when it comes to your posting, you want to get a couple posts up every day, no matter what. Like I have not, even though I'm not someone who posts 6-9 times a day. Like that's not really me, but I have not missed one day of posting since I've signed up, even if it's just 2 or 3. I post every day. Like today, I think I've only posted once, and I'll post a couple more times before I go to bed, but, I'm never going to miss a day of posting. I'm never going to miss a day of adding to my network, because posting 3 times a day and adding to my network, that takes a total of 15 minutes. Like I have 15 minutes every day of my life, so on those crazy days. So I want to encourage you not to take a break. If you have taken a break, I want to encourage you to jump in the game tonight and not take a break, and keep going and stay really consistent. And when you need help, please reach out. Please reach out. I reach out to my uplines all the time still. I still don't know. Jenna is one of my uplines, and she just taught me a whole new thing today that I had no idea was even happening. And I'm like, what in the world? So, I'm still learning a ton every day. I intend to keep learning every day. So stay consistent, do the work, and constantly improve, and you will get there, you guys. I'm telling you. I promise you that you will. I promise you. You can do it no matter where you are or what you're thinking about, or any situation that you're in. I'm telling you that you can do this. That's what's so beautiful about this business, is that anyone can do it. So believe in yourself. Yeah.
I love it. And guys, what she said about reaching out, it is so crucial. Your uplines, they don't know you need help unless you ask them, but you have to ask, and you're never too far in this company to stop learning. I'm a double diamond, and I ask Claire questions on a weekly basis. Probably every other day I'm texting her something. So, it's I haven't arrived. There's still so much that I need to learn, and that I can, reach out to her. And, there's still just so much stuff that I can improve on a daily basis. So what Kristen was saying, she just learned something. She's an emerald and has gone fast, and there's still new tricks of the trade she's learning. So, yeah, Sarah, she shared it, reading the comments, she shared it up if you scroll up. And then I think she's also going to post it in, on the thread in Freedom Legacy too. But
yes, I'm going to post it on the thread. I don't think I've posted my potential work. I've read it out loud, but I don't think I posted it. But
okay.
For Instagram potential distributors, I will post that in the comments. As soon as this is over, I'll go through and just post everything in the comments so you guys can see it. And I'll attach I'll upload that daily list for anyone who wants to follow. This is actually my list. So anyone who wants to follow it can.
That would be amazing. I know.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that. And I'm sure that would help a lot of people getting started for sure. But yeah, guys, just seriously ask for help. Like Kristen was saying, plug in, watch trainings. That's how we get better. No one jumps in this business just a natural and knows exactly what to do. We all get there and continuously improve by, always plugging into trainings and just learning from our uplines. So I think her advice is just so real, so practical, and it's just going to be golden for you if you implement it. So, well, I won't keep you, Kristen. I know that you have already given so much of your time to us, and we appreciate that so much. But I'm going to post this recording for anyone that missed it or hopped on late. And then Kristen's going to share her wording in the group as well, guys. So thank you so much, Kristen.
Yeah. No problem. Thank you, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.